All right, it is that time, guys. We've got HJA running Mega Man 9. And with me, I have Prodigy and Strizer. Welcome, Prodigy.
Hey.
I'm not sure if Strizer's quite back yet.
I'm indeed.
Awesome. Okay, so I think I will let you guys take it from here.
Righty. Well, we are going to see some Mega Man 9 next. Mega Man 9 is slightly different in the fact that we're going to see HJA's timer start when he selects the first Robot Master, which is going to be Concrete Man. You're going to see a little bit of diversity here. There's a little bit of kind of versatility in the routing. You can opt to do a couple Robot Masters in the middle in whichever order that you really please. And you're going to see a couple Buster fights right off the bat.
Yeah, and since Concrete Block is kind of a very important weapon in this run, we're gonna see it used frequently, and that's the main reason for Concrete Man being the first robo. Also, this game is one of the kind of good ones to do Buster fights, so we're gonna have the opportunity to see two. Because all the bosses have 20 iframes, I believe 20 iframes, so the satisfaction of killing a boss buster only is great. So in here, Handsome Jackass is using a different strategy, which is bonking the elephants, doing a reverse backwards boost, which actually doesn't lose as much time as you can take a boost. Well, an unfortunate death there.
Ooh.
It happens. It happens to the best of us. This is a big reset point in Mega Man 9. That's why it's first. So
there's a couple options runners have there. You can try and damage boost your way through, as we saw. Alternatively, you can try and mash down the elephants. It's going to depending, on how comfortable you are with your mashing. But of course, you do run into the danger of having what we just saw happen if you are going to go the damage boost route.
yeah, exactly. As we can see, mashing those extremely fast is not exactly the easiest thing to do. So, not losing that much time doing a reversed backwards boost, as you can see the second and the third elephant. And this stage actually has really good music, like Concrete Jungle is one of the best tracks of this game. And in general, this game has amazing weapons and a really good soundtrack. So nothing too serious at the start of the run. This Concrete Man is a straightforward stage and a kind of a short one, so you're gonna see the boss fight pretty shortly. It's an RNG boss fight in the terms of you don't want Concrete Man to jump. You want him to charge you, and you want him to shoot blocks. He shoots 3 blocks, and if you have a good position, you can manipulate them and they stack at 1 block. As you can see, he stays near Concrete Man and he's stuck all the 3 blocks he shoots in 1, keeping him in iframes, and that's the best possible outcome he can get.
Actually, I really love that Buster fight. Like, it's so much fun and it's so satisfying to learn. It's not as difficult as it may look. Obviously, there's that little bit of RNG in there, but the fight itself is just as beautiful when it's done well.
Yeah, and in general, these fights bring great satisfaction to everyone that appreciates Buster. The second stage, we're not going to weakness routes in this game, so the second stage we use concrete to kind of block these magma beams that are gonna come from the ceiling and help ourselves a bit with the concrete shot. So we're gonna fight Magma Man with Buster again, though using concrete shot makes this stage much faster than going to a traditional weakness route. So as you can see, you're getting those mini clips when using concrete block, and it's really satisfaction indeed, and a couple of damage boosts, and this is a very dangerous magma freeze there. Conveniently, he stopped in time. but it's very tight, and I understand perfectly why he started. And our first mini boss encounter is actually the dragon that I don't know his Japanese name, but I think he dies on a couple of concrete shots. 4 or 5, Strizer, if you remember.
Feel like it's 6, but I could be wrong. I feel like my body knows, but my mind doesn't.
yeah, exactly. You know how to kill him, but you don't remember actually how much.
I don't actively count anything. I bash. It's a comfort thing. We're going to be seeing Jack freezing these magma beams, and he's going to try and clip through this one.
And successfully so. And this is actually really hard to do, because if you move 1 pixel forward when you're doing this clip, you're dead. And you're gonna see a pretty wide explosion. So this clip is very dangerous for new players. And on this fight, ideally, per jump, you want to do 3 hits. And he's getting one of the best patterns actually. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 move. A great buster fight. And doing a great magma is, as you can see, not so easy. But an adapting fight, you should adapt for every jump he does.
I feel like magma buster fight is more difficult to do cleaner than concrete is. I feel like there's a little more nuance to the magma fight and managing his iframes properly to get those 3 shots, because if you're not really tight to your iframes, you're not going to squeak that 3rd shot in.
I absolutely agree, sir. And here, I think, is the stage that is interchangeable, Hornet Man, or you can choose alternatively Galaxy, because it doesn't matter on it doesn't save much time or lose any time. People choose Galaxy Turret mainly because they can lose time on Galaxy RNG. So this is not an RTA run, so he probably chose Hornet for this run. So ideally in this stage we're gonna utilize again a lot of C block and a lot of fresh coil.
See the flower upcoming. The flower's position is RNG based, so that's kind of a factor as well. Hopefully he can mash him down with concrete block. He got a great position.
Yeah, it's actually one of the best outcomes for it. And to save a switch menu, he's gonna continue with the block. And it's pretty tight on ammo usage on the C block. On most of the stages and throughout the game, this is one of the most important weapons. And as you can see, killing these flowers, he kind of goes through the block. When you kill him at an exact spot, you can kind of clip off the block, and this gives you a little bit of time save. Switching to Magma Bazooka, ideally you want to do this fight. If you do it correctly, you will kill Hornet just before he does his second attack on the left wall.
It's worth noting what we're going to see here, and kind of the key to using Magma Bazooka effectively is if you're up close and you shoot and all 3 projectiles hit simultaneously, it does do triple damage, hence why it's so effective as a weapon, why we're wanting it early on in the run, and that's why you're able to kill the boss so quickly.
And as you can see, the next stage is Galaxy, with that amazing Mega Man 9 music that everybody loves and remembers. A relatively easy stage, but that's only for the eyes to see. This stage is really technical if you want to do it fast. And there are a lot of tiny mistakes to make in this stage, including this coral jump, which is really hard. But no, he's using the safe start, and it's understandable, but most of the coil jumps here are hard, and one mess up can lose you a lot of seconds.
see Jack actually using the little helicopter robots to his advantage. They're pulling them to his right. He started that off with a little coil jump with one that grabbed him, and he utilized it above kind of the intended area of where it would grab you. But it's a neat little sequence.
So at the end of the stage, you have a very precise C block mesh, if you say, where you place 2-3 C blocks after teleporting. It's really hard to do to kind of skip a teleporter. These teleporters that port you around, of course they have a pattern, but you can skip one teleport if you do this C block positioning great. So he's again using one of these helicopters, and oh, this UFO kind of screwed him over, but his C blocks were on point. And ideally this this boss does one, wow, this is, I was gonna say he does one swoop, but he already did it. So this was the best strategy possible. Enjoy that, guys.
Sure, do you know if Jack does, in refights there is actually a potential manipulation for Galaxy Man's pattern. Do you know if Jack does the manipulation for refights?
I think he does, but you know it's pretty hard because of global timers.
Well, it's ridiculously hard, but I mean, I guess we'll find out.
Okay, so in Jewel, we're gonna kind of see multiple weapon usages, including the Hornet weapon, not the bees, the black hole, the C, not the C, but the fire bazooka. I think he'll probably use as well. So taking a couple of tactical damage boosts to go through this area as fast as possible, and a mini boss at the middle of the stage, which spawns at a random location. So you want him to be as close as the door, close to the door as possible, but not directly under the door.
Stage for me gets the win in terms of the best soundtrack. Like I love Jewel soundtrack the best.
Yeah, it's amazing. Oh, and the best possible RNG for the cheese ball. Here we go. Amazing. Okay, 2 out of 2 with the flower, 3 out of 3 RNG. Best RNG possible. Ain't this a marathon run? And on the downward section here, he's gonna switch to black hole, which kind of eases up the section because it's really crowded with enemies, and black hole just sucks everything in. And tactical damage boost just skip the big enemy. And there is a really hard position of the black hole for this fight. You can do it 1 cycle, you can do it 2 cycles with 2 spams of black holes, but it's really hard. I've never done it in 1. And it's the normal kill is with 2 black holes, as you can see here, and it's really fast, and the one is absolutely impossible. I personally see it done it once or twice on a stream, so yeah. Still a very fast kill and very worth to learn or do in your regular runs. And Jewel Satellite, which is actually the best protective shield in all Mega Man series, to be quite honest. And speaking about global timers, this stage runs on a global timer like every other stage, but here you're kind of chasing the timer. You don't want to slow down because it gets really awkward really fast. And to do that, there are a couple of strats, like taking Jet to ignore these Yoku blocks. here and jet at the downward section, which will kinda ignore the global timer totally. And that will result in the last section of the game working in our favor as well. As you can see, Jack is doing perfectly. I cannot say he's messing up because he's doing everything so good.
Very beautiful Yoku section. As you mentioned, it being on the global timer, Yoku blocks are terrible enough as is, so if you get basically anywhere off script of where you're expecting to be, it just turns into a nightmare. But we saw really effective jet use. He's got 2 ticks of ammo left, so he's basically got it from start to finish, and there's the rest of the jet right there.
Wow, these are really big boy strats.
The good thing about Plugman is Plugman has 3 potential patterns, but in the initial fight, he always does the same pattern guaranteed, so you can always launch that dual shield right off the bat, and you will always hit. Don't do it in refights, but you're good to go because he's always going to do that same pattern in the initial fight.
Indeed, and now when we're following already the weakness pattern, I think the next one should be Tornado, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe? No, oh, we have bees. Splash one.
For Splash as well, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Splash and Tornado are also kind of interchangeable. There's not really an instance in Tornado where you're using Trident, and there's not really an instance in this stage where you're going to use Tornado. So yeah, I think these are also kind of interchangeable along with the Hornet Galaxy situation.
Yeah, the fun fact about this run is you don't use, at least RTA attempts, is you don't use the Trident at all out of the first 8 Robot Masters. So yeah, they're interchangeable. As we see Blackman here, there is a very precise trick. It's not pixel perfect or frame perfect or anything, but a really precise jet positioning called bubble skip here. So he needs to jump at a certain time when the bubble goes up at the top of the screen, so he can transition with the small bubble and jumping right after because the bubble pops and disappears. And right at this,
5.
yeah. So you can easily hit those spikes that you saw, but if you're fast and good at this game, you see everything and you feel everything. Also, jet necessary for this section to kind of skip these annoying platforms, which can cause trouble to casual players.
Yeah, there's supposed to be like water in there, but they always look like tuna cans or something to me.
Yeah. And this fight has absolutely no RNG.
Except maybe the bees.
Yeah, the only RNG is in you and yourself. You gotta believe in the bees, dude.
Looks like we have a donation.
Yeah, is now a good time?
Yeah, go for it.
Sure, we have a couple of them now. Actually, we have $5 from Ramen Cat saying, "Let's go, go, go." Then we have $11 from Andre the Accelerator saying, "This is going towards Sonic CD Japanese soundtrack. Let's make those donations go fast. Awesome marathon so far, crushing the goals. Shoutouts to all the runners putting in the hard practice." Thanks, guys.
So,
I think we're on the extended goal by this point or something. So shoutouts to everybody that's contributed. It's absolutely amazing.
this is really great that people help so much. Thank you guys, and it's really appreciated. About this stage though, we have heavily concentrated usage of Rush because these battery platforms, or whatever they are, nobody likes them. They get heavily ignored in 80%, and they're kind of a pain to deal with. So we just use Rush Jet and skip those. And actually a very Rush Jet heavy stage in general.
Jump over the precarious health. Woo.
Nice. Amazing. And reverse backwards safety, reverse backward boost of the map. There are a couple of starts for that screen, and I really prefer this one the best. It's kind of loses time, but it feels great, and I hate dealing with that Joe in the map, and it feels great just to ignore him.
He's going to be using the range to his advantage. He actually wants to be off the ground as much as possible for this last screen.
Yes, and Tornado Man. Another heavy RNG fight. And we kind of get Plug Ball from Plug Man. But it's actually not one of the greatest weapons this game has. And yeah, amazing. Yep, I guess Jack is lucky today. Like, he's getting the best RNGs possible. That's unbelievable. Especially in a Mega Man 9 run when people basically hate to grind because of RNG. And this is just amazing. He's just getting everything right.
Don't speak too soon. You wait until Wily capsule and you may see some things.
Oh, because you know always wins. You know how it is.
Traditional eyebrows.
And we get a traditional entering of the castle before Wily 1, which at the start he wants to do without stopping, because that will mess up some bird patterns, and birds are jerks here too. So you don't want to stop.
Intended mechanics of this stage would be usage of Tornado, but we're really just going to opt out of that for every section that the game implies we should use it, and we're just going to use Rush Jet instead.
And switching to Rush Coil, which tells me he's gonna mash the dragon down with Rush. That's a big boy stat. So it's gonna see we get our second encounter with the mini boss dragon here. See how it's gonna go down. Amazing, very well done. The following section after the dragon consists magma beams, which are actually intended to be frozen with the concrete block, but we don't do that. We use Rush because it's faster, and because we need that weapon energy for refights and for other Wily stages. So usage of Rush here and there is necessary.
Like Mega Man 7 that we just saw a moment ago, Mega Man 9 does not refill your weapon energy between stages. This is one continuous usage, and you will see HJA pick up a M-Tank along the way. But he's basically going to have to make do with the 2 sets of weapon energy throughout, that M-Tank included.
And on the Spike Rushers, he actually uses a new strat that he actually found with Plug Ball. After pushing 3 Crushers, he switches to Plug Ball and opts to use Plug Ball more, and after refill it, and it doesn't lose time. And actually you can be more consistent in killing those with Plug Ball, as he does.
It's really neat. I've never seen that.
Yeah, it's a new thing that he tested. Actually, want to talk about Jack for a bit. He's playing this game for a year now, and he's putting a lot of effort in Mega Man 9, so he's no newcomer, as you can see.
Whoops. Rush ended up just slightly too high there.
All these sections that you see, they're a big pain. So yeah, better use Jet than just do them regularly.
Clem is busting out the appropriate jam emotes. Wily 2 is a banger.
And one of my favorite stats in the game, 2 C blocks. Let's go. Oh dear lord, C block flew away without hitting anything.
Jump is scary. Like I know. Oh, the RNG again.
Wow, this is amazing. Oh, I'm smiling right now because this RNG is godlike. And some precise. Yeah, that's the only weapon, if I recall correctly, that can destroy these blocks that are blocking your way. Also, he must preserve ammo because Trident is overused in Wily stages, so you don't want to use it that much, and you want to preserve as much as you can. And he's gonna switch to Rush Coil, which reminds me a very interesting strat on this ladder, and he gets it first try. Great job. That's actually really tight to do that turnaround that he did to deploy Rush on the ladder. Also, he's gonna keep going with Rush, jumping over enemies, and jumping at the start of the fight to fire a couple of fast tridents at the boss. How do you call this? Mega Man 9 Shark?
You know its technical name. It's like Mecha Shark or something.
Mecha Shark.
There's a couple of different ways that you can tackle this. I believe what we're going to see is Jack use Trident throughout the entirety of it. The ceiling section is a little bit annoying, but we're seeing Jack get some good turnarounds. Sufficient ammo. Shark Submarine? I would believe that. I would believe it's Shark Submarine. Wants to say Mega Shark. We can come up with lots of names for him. Mega Mech Shark. Combination of. Like, he's dead now, guys. That's what he is. We're moving on to Wily 3, which is the stage with the obligatory Mega Dance.
Amazingly hard stage. Well, at least for me it is. I think Jack will do just fine, but there is a very scary section in this stage that ruins runs occasionally, even on the best players. I'm talking about the Trident Joe section. We'll come up in a second. It's a very scary stage once you go up to the gravity elevator, let's say.
I know that exact spot that you're talking about, and it's funny because when I was playing, I kind of fluctuated between Tridents, and then at one point I was using Tornadoes to get through that section because it's also an easy out. It all really depends on where you're planning on using your M-Tank and how you're planning on routing everything after you use that M-Tank.
Oh, I absolutely agree. It's personal preference. Also, he tried a strat, as you can see, he deployed Rush Coil at the bottom of the ladder in the Joe room. This strat is the BT strat. BTFN performed this strat first, and it's very tight. I'm talking about frames.
There's that M-Tank that we were talking about. It's actually totally free if you're on the left-hand side of that screen. It's the individual weapon fills.
Oh, and the fake one-ups. I love this part of the stage. Dear Lord, he's pre-firing and killing everything, making this section look like a joke. Wow, really well done. And the boss coming up is, we can actually call him Easy Devil. Most of us call him Easy Devil, but it's not that easy. What we want to do is one cycle the devil, which happens when you deploy a black hole at a certain point of the fight. Hits him when he's starting to have iframes. When you pause, that disappears, and you're trying to pause and deploy a bomb each time. And very well done. Amazing one cycle.
That wasn't even close. Like, he had actually some decent time to spare. The eyeball was like right in the middle of the black hole bomb, so even he had a little bit of time to spare on that. That was very well done.
So, Casino anyone? This is the pain, and this is actually a global timer chase-up as well. As soon as this stage starts, you want to go at a certain way fast to the bottom so you can actually manipulate Galaxy doing his favorable pattern again. The way that runners cue it is about the background that's flashing down there. Let's see if he goes for it. But generally, it's the flashing background, as you can see. He goes for it. Let's see what let's see what Galaxy can say about it. Oh well. Oh dear lord. Oh dear lord. Claps.
So to be clear, we've been talking about a lot of really good RNG all run. That was not good RNG. That was a proper manipulation. He got that perfectly.
Just another nail showing how great of a runner he is and what he achieved for 1 year. He's become amazing in every fight, in every situation that you can see. So here we want double tornado hits, but they never happen. So, so you're kind of forced to switch to bazooka. You cannot do this fight without switching to bazooka. And that helps us for the next fight, which is Hornet. Remember those black hole bombs that he saved? Yeah, it's for this boss.
Very, very quick work of these refights. And on Concrete Man using Trident, so he can then use Trident for the egg section of the Wily Saurus, which is incoming.
Yeah, there are a couple of ways to tackle the three phases of Wily. And one of it involves Buster, but the advanced one is with Trident. So he saved all his Trident and a couple of C blocks just for this fight. Which is...
The Wily Saurus wrecks people casually.
Oh my god. It just looks like a joke when Jack is playing the game.
The free hit off the start. The concrete, that was nice.
As in just enough concrete. Doesn't even need to switch to bazooka. And casino time. Wily, please. Wily, please. Be a good boy.
In true Wily Capsule style, they make you use the weapon with the absolute shortest range.
Yeah, the most abysmal weapon always. Wily, please.
Remember what I said earlier.
Casino always wins.
If there's anything frustrating about running Mega Man 9, it is in the fact that you get to the very, very end of the game and you are subject to this
GG's. Amazing run.
Jack.
34-16? That's an amazing marathon run. GG's, Jack, and thanks for the run, dude. I think everyone here appreciates Mega Man 9. And I guess stay tuned for X3 from Lasiki and our ROM hack boys with Kumba and Peter Afro with BCAS.
Definitely tons of fun. Everyone enjoyed the rest of the marathon.
Yeah, thank you guys for doing that, and great run, HJA. So coming up, we're going to be having Mega Man X3. So we're going to be moving back to the SNES and have our first X game of the day, at least. We have Laseki running, and then Darrenville is going to be doing commentary for that. So we'll set that up and be right back.